Hello, guys. Welcome back. This isn't gonna be too long. I wanted to tell you about something really cool we did. We have the Odin book, and we have one coming. Yeah, and somehow, there's another one coming that is Tolkien rewrote some of the lore. Um, but it's from his drafts. He's one of those people that after he died, he's published so much more because the estate went through a lot of his paperwork, so it's like his notes and all this other stuff. So that's going to be coming eventually. And I was upstairs listening to the classical music, and I was thinking about the Odin book I have. And I was thinking about how she talked to this programmer that, worships Odin and everything. And this guy had this idea of somehow connecting himself, mind and body, to like a computer, and he would like splice wires into himself and everything to try to connect into cyberspace. And I thought, he's talking about VR. You don't have to kill yourself to do this. He's talking about VR. And I thought, be kind of, cool to be able to do that, to go into VR, because it's a world and yet it's not. It's an illusion. It's zeros and ones. It's scripting. It's programming. It's coding. It's an illusion. It doesn't exist. This doesn't exist. This is just data. You're watching data and perceiving it as a moving picture, but it's an illusion. Anyhow, I heard, huh? Becker. Um, and honestly, that's what it is. It's data. It's an illusion. So, anyhow, to get back on track, Odin asked me, he says, well, don't you have a keyboard? And we do. We have a keyboard in our VR home. I'm like, yeah. He goes, could you do the desktop thing? Because in Oculus, if you have an Oculus, you can go to your desktop and go wherever you want. And I'm like, yeah, if I had a writing program, which I don't anymore, I have like a little notes thing, and I'm like, yeah, if it was up when I went in and I brought everything up, then yeah, I could type. You have Patreon? I do. So our experiment, such as it is up over on Patreon. You literally have to hunt and peck, with these two little lasers to type with. It's not meant, you can get a keyboard, but it's really not meant for you to sit there and write a, full-length novel or something. Probably Tolkien could have done it, but not me. So it's like, do 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 do. It was fun because I was literally in his hall, but I wasn't because it doesn't actually exist. But the halls I've shown you guys. And I'm sitting in Odin's hall, and I can kind of feel him there. And I'm both sitting in this role, but sitting in this hall, sitting on the couch, and jumping up and down on me. Beside me on the couch is Loki, 'cause he's bored, 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 bored. How much longer we gotta be here? This is boring. This is stupid. And I'm trying to type and think of poetry, and he's over there like, and I get this idea that he's like going through a magazine, like flipping through, like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I'm so bored, I'm so bored, I'm so bored, I'm so bored. And like, it felt like he left on 12 trips, went on vacation, came back to be sarcastic and say, this is so boring. It's kind of hard for him to sit still sometimes. That part of the poem is about him and butters him up greatly. Helped because he would lean over and he'd go, tick tock, tick tock. What happens if I hit this? What happens if I hit that? So he kept messing with me mentally because he's warm and supportive when it comes to the arts. He goes, yeah, I'm a good patron. So he's having fun, and he enjoyed tormenting me and making it as hard as possible to do the poetry. Um, it's something I put up on Patreon. It's something that's important to Odin. Odin's kind of like Kandinsky, I guess, that all art is art. Odin seems to think all poetry is poetry. So, take it as you will. And he was downright gleeful because as I was reading the review for the Tolkien book, and keep in mind, these are drafts that they've been going through his work and finding like class notes and that, because he was a professor, remember, and he would have taught on, I believe, Norse literature and that. And I'm getting probably professors confused, but anyhow, Um, where was I? Anyhow, it's said that you should read it out loud. It's just like a teacher of Shakespeare that loved it said, it's like telling students you can't read Shakespeare, which is true. I mean, you can read it, it's in English, but you have to hear it spoken out loud. That's how you appreciate Shakespeare. This too. And Odin was bouncing up and down like recital time, recital time. So they're both happy. Odin is getting poetry. Loki's getting to be annoying and jumping in the middle, and they're both happy. So it's really interesting because to push spirituality forward or your religion or whatever word you're happy with, it's interesting to do because there's nothing inherently spiritual about cyberspace if you think about it. It just kind of exists. Like the internet just kind of exists, but people were doing computer magic and internet magic for a while, and some people liked it, but most people didn't take to it. And some people try virtual temples and some people don't. I find it works well for me, but the kind of magic I do is more like a casual conversation. It's not like I'm in there doing, trying to do high magic, although all the elements are there, virtually. So it's really interesting to be able to give the gods a virtual space, to meet them in that virtual space, then to create something in a virtual space. This is the cool part. And you're all like, oh my god. To create something in a virtual space that does not exist, because remember, VR is not a real place we can travel to in, a Uber or something. To create something in virtual space from out of your head, and to be creating it in virtual space, yet as you type in virtual space, it's being created in the real world, but it's not really the real world because it's in the internet. So as I had my virtual space open, it was connected up to the internet, and I was typing away, and I was both creating in a world that doesn't exist, but creating in a world that does exist, because you can see the internet. Only the internet doesn't exist because it's all zeros and ones and scripting and coding. And isn't that neat? And I hear the unsubs now, but it's something kind of magical to create something from a space that isn't real, yet is, because once you're in VR, it's very real, and create it for the real world, because, you can go, well, provided you're a patron, you can go read the poetry or see whatever else I did, or you can see, what I do in VR when I record something, put it up. So it's just food for thought. It was interesting, and they were both very excited, I think, because if I could figure out how to do that, then maybe I can figure out how to paint. And maybe I can figure out how to do a bunch of other stuff too. So now they're all wiggly, waggly, wiggly. So if you like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye bye.